Hello, today we're at Quinton Rail Technology Centre in Long Marsden, talking to someone that needs no introduction to the business and rail community, former chairman of Chiltern Railways, Mr. Adrian Shooter.
Hello, Ben.
Thank you for inviting me to Long Marsden, home of VivaRail. We're sitting in the latest development of your VivaRail Class 230 DMU.
Yeah, we're sitting in our prototype train. This one's a diesel-powered one. It's been out on the main line. It can carry passengers and it'll be out again soon. And right next to it is our first battery train, which we're developing.
Wonderful. But today I want to talk to you about the new train operating company you're spearheading, Vintage Trains Ltd. Vintage Trains have successfully promoted trains for over 20 years. Why do we need to form a train operating company?
Well, quite simply because, as in all walks of life, we have to move on and we have to change. And the railway that we're running on is getting very much more busy. It's getting much faster as well. And there's new forms of signalling and such like coming in, and we have to keep up to date. We also have to probably bring some new people in so that we can work within that system, be part of the whole railway community, and to be a valued part of it. And to do that, we believe we have to have control of our own operations.
You're to be the chairman of the new train operating company, Vintage Trains Ltd. You're also involved in several other rail projects, including VivaRail, where we're sitting now. What is your motivation for this?
Well, many years ago, in fact when I was 18, I did my first train charter where I hired a locomotive called Flying Scotsman. That was 51 years ago. Now I've been involved in steam ever since, and some people will know I own my own Darjeeling Himalayan Railway steam loco. So I thought it was time I put a bit back into the movement to try and help create this company which will have a long-term future running express steam trains on the main line.
We're selling shares as we speak, and we're well on target to reach our minimum by the 31st of May. What happens next?
Well, as soon as we get to the minimum, by that time we should also have got our license, and once we've got both the shares and the license, then we're in business and we start the actual train operation. That means that we can take on board some of the staff that we'll need, including drivers. We can then have a plan put in place, which we've been working on now, to start our first trains. And we'll start in a small way, because whatever we do, we're going to do it to the very highest standard, and it's always sensible to have a soft start, to start slowly. So we'll be starting with shorter distance trains, almost certainly the Shakespeare Express to Stratford this summer, and then building up into longer distance excursions after that.
You mentioned drivers and crews. West Coast Railways and DB Cargo have publicly stated that there are a shortage of steam drivers. How are we going to staff the new train operating company? We've
got quite a long list of drivers who are interested in working for us, and the first and most important thing is that they're existing mainline drivers with EU driving licenses, which is now a requirement for train drivers. So they're people that drive express trains now. They're also people who've got experience of steam locomotives. What they haven't got is experience of driving steam locomotives on the main line is up to 75. So there will be an element of training which will be bespoke to each individual driver. But we're very confident that we can do that. And as I said, there is actually no shortage of volunteers. So we have some choices, which is good.
We've also applied for a freight licence. Now, many enthusiasts would love to see a 28XX or a 9F hauling a loosely coupled freight up the Lickey Incline, but I've got a feeling that's not what you have in mind.
No, that's right. That would be rather fun, but no, we're not doing that. The freight licence is really, in a sense, a technicality, because in order to make this company one that can run in the future with a secure future, we have to get some other sources of income. One will be things like conducting drivers on tampers and on track plant and stuff like that, where the driver of the machine doesn't know the route. To do that, we need a freight license. Other things that we'll be doing to make the business more profitable is setting up a training school. And this will be a training school for training drivers in order to get their EU driver license, and also to provide a whole range of other operational training as well.
Adrian, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.